Hey guys, welcome to the Pixelmate channel. My name is Kishankumar. I also go by Shank. I'll be uploading bunch of Adobe XD and Illustrator tutorial series in this channel. For today we are gonna learn Adobe XD. This series contains 4 to 5 part video, so the first video will be basically about learning on how to create splash screen. I'll also throw in some homepage design as a bonus clip. In the second one, we will learn different ways to use scroll groups and repeat grids. Then in the third one, we are going to use audio playback as a trigger to replicate the music player screen. Next in the fourth one, we are gonna create settings and user profile page. And finally, we are gonna wrap this up by creating a navigation menu with a slider effect using component states. So without any more further ado, let's dive into the video, shall we? First, let's create a new artboard. Then you'll see a list of default preset that is ready to use. Well, I'm gonna go with the iPhone X for this one. Now let's create a background using the rectangle tool. Then let's move on to the appearance menu and change the fill color. I'll remove the border, which is unnecessary for this one. Since I already have some colors saved in my asset panel for this music app, let's bring that up by clicking this icon down below. Well, I'm gonna change this to yellow, looks super cool, huh? So next let's create some cool elements for the background design page. Well, I'm gonna use a pen tool, but hey, feel free to go with the tools that suit you best. Give me a moment, I'll wrap this up and come back. So here we are, the background now looks super cool, huh? I guess it's time to bring the logo into Adobe XD. But before we do that, what I'm gonna do is I'll hide the rest of the letters behind the D music icon. And I'm gonna explain later the motto behind this letter formatting. So keep watching till the end. Here we go. Now once the logo is imported, the first thing I'm gonna do is renaming the files. It's a good thing to stay organized. And apart from that, it's also crucial to do this because we can't possibly expect perfect transitions without setting up a proper name. Before we move any further, I'm gonna hide all the letters except the letter D. I'm gonna rename this artboard to Splash Screen 1. And then let's go to the Layers panel. Select all the layers under this artboard and group it, just like that. So let's see. Well, I'll just name this home for now. Now let's duplicate the artboard. Then I'm gonna bring this one slightly down. Say by 10 pixels. Well, I'm looking for a slight bounce effect, so I guess this should do the trick. And let's duplicate once again. But this time I'm gonna move this up by 10 pixels using exactly the same properties except in the opposite direction. Now let's repeat this process 3 more times. I'm gonna rename all these artboards and we are done with the design phase. Well, I guess it's sewing time. Let's go to prototype. Then select the artboard. And drag this arrow to link this to another artboard. Just like that. Change the trigger from tap to time. And for action, let's leave it as auto animate. Let's change this to ease in out for better output. And finally set the duration to 0.4 seconds. Let's repeat the same process to all the other artboards as well. Now hit the preview button and boom. Looks super cool, huh? Now the splash screen is complete. Let's move on to create a homepage. Duplicate this artboard. And rename to homepage. Then go to the layers panel. And get rid of these 2 layers. Next, let's reduce the logo. And I'm gonna unhide these layers. Double click and drag the letter O. Also, move other letters likewise. Just like that. Reduce the logo even further. Center a line and move the stop. Then I'll go to the prototype. Change the trigger from tap to time. Auto animate. Ease in out. And finally set the duration to 0.6 seconds. Hit the preview. Looks pretty cool, huh? It's time to create a navigation menu. I already have some icons imported in my asset panel for this app. So before I start, I just want to let you guys know that I mostly download icons from a particular website. I'll drop the links in the description, so feel free to check it out. The navigation menu is now complete. Let's create a search bar as well. Done. Looks simpler. But that's what I'm going for. Before we move on to the next step, I'll just add a drop shadow for this one. Let's add for this one too. Group this and rename the search bar. And this one is a nav bar. Hide these layers. Then I'll slightly reduce this logo. Realign the logo once again. Bring this up slightly. Then copy and paste these layers just below the logo. Unhide. And move this. Oops, my bad. Move this. Just like that. And bring down the opacity to 0. Well, all that's left now is to create cards. So let's get started with that one. Now the cards are ready. I forgot to add the title for cards, give me a moment. And done. Before prototyping, I'm gonna copy these layers. And paste it into the previous artboard. Then I'm gonna rearrange some of these layers to get the transformation that I'm looking for. So let's bring this search bar up. And bring down opacity to 0. For navigation menu, let's bring this down. And bring down opacity for this one too. Just like that. Let's duplicate this artboard. and rearrange this layer. The cards, what I'm gonna do is slightly try creative and move individual cards, so that when I prototype they won't pop at the same time, but would rather create a time delay when they line up. Trust me, this will be an awesome transformation once we are done with the prototyping. In this artboard, I'm gonna bring back opacity for these layers. Then rearrange. Just like that. Finally, it's time to sew the artboard. Hit the prototype. I'm gonna retain the properties the same as earlier, except set the duration to 1 second. Hit the preview. And boom. Looks super cool, huh? Let's preview once again. Looks awesome to me. So guys, this is all I got for today. And since this is my very first video, I'd like to hear your suggestions to make my vlogs better, so I'd appreciate it if you share your honest opinion, and I'll try to provide high quality content. And if you have any questions relating to this topic, hit me in the comments, and I'll make sure to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please hit the like button, share it if you found it helpful, and subscribe to get notified of my latest uploads. Shank's out. Peace y'all.